I'm Dr. Stephanie Eken. I'm the Medical Director of the Child Center at Rogers Memorial Hospital. And we're here to discuss our talk that we want to present in Nashville at the NATSAP annual conference. The name of our talk is Therapeutic Approaches to Reduce Family Accommodations in Adolescents with Anxiety Disorders. And we really think this is an important topic to discuss because the research shows us that over 90% of families with children and adolescents with anxiety accommodate anxious behaviors. And the unfortunate part about this is families don't understand how it affects the outcomes for their child. So we feel like it's important for clinicians to address in therapeutic sessions with families. So we want to define it, talk about it, and talk about how it impacts kids. So children are affected in a lot of ways with accommodations. It can lead to not attending school. It can lead to less independence where they can't complete activities of daily living because families are accommodating these anxious behaviors. One example might be if a child is struggling to get ready because they're anxious about going to school, parents may do a variety of activities to help the child get to school, but essentially it starts to take longer and longer. So we really want to help clinicians address this with kids because of the impact it has in multiple settings in a child's life.
And my name is Eddie Tomaich. I'm the Clinical Services Manager for the Child Center and the Child and Adolescent Intensive Outpatient and Partial Hospitalization Programs. Also, parents tend to estimate how much accommodation they're really doing with their children and family members in general. So we want to talk about how those accommodations increase over time, and they're doing it for good reasons. They believe that it's helping in the moment. It is decreasing symptomology in the moment, but in the long run it increases and the accommodations become more and more intense, and before long the accommodations become to the point where a child might be pulled from school, or they're not being able to join sports, and so on. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that, and then how those accommodations kind of even go out to the school. Those accommodations, parents will talk to the teachers, and they will talk to grandparents. Are great resources that we need to get the whole team together to learn how these accommodations are impacting the families in general.
So it's a hard subject to bring up with families for some clinicians. It can feel like a very sensitive topic because often parents will confuse, like Eddie mentioned, accommodation with perhaps love or empathy. So we want to give clinicians some skills in order to address accommodation and do it in a way that family members can receive it and reduce these behaviors, because they are not doing it with poor intentions, and so they can be sensitive to these topics. We also want to do that because a lot of clinicians also use cognitive behavioral therapy, and we know family accommodation does not align with CBT goals. So we really want to work together as a treatment team, and really the reason is because long and short-term outcomes have been shown clearly in studies with anxious kids and with kids with OCD that they're worse if families are accommodating their anxious behaviors. So we think this is an important topic. We think clinicians can really benefit from it. Our target is clinicians at NATSAP. So we're hoping that you'll accept our presentation for the 2015 annual conference in Nashville.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you.